My passion project is about what kids can teach adults about video games. What adults can learn from kids. Adults can learn many things from kids. One thing we can teach adults about are video games. Many parents think video games cause violence, but that's not necessarily true. Most of the time, the child knows what the game is about and if it has inappropriate content or not. So, all the parent has to do is ask the child what the game is about and the kind of content it has. This gives the parent an understanding of the video game, so they can decide if it's appropriate for their child to play. But instead, the parent usually just blindly buys the game for their child, not even looking at the rating. So they don't know anything about the game, not knowing if it's violent, if it uses bad words, not even knowing if it has sexual content. But when they see the child playing it, they immediately blame the game for their ignorance of the content of the game. Evidence 1. In this text, it compares video games to drugs such as cocaine, because when playing the game, your brain releases the same chemicals that it releases when you use drugs, making them addictive and having long-term effects such as aggressiveness. The problem with that statement is drugs have chemicals in it that make it hard for them to quit, but video games don't. So if the parent did some research, then they could prevent their child from becoming aggressive. Evidence 2. In this post, Donald Trump says, "I saw a lot of violence today as we met with video games top people. Bad games. Biggest takeaway, does Preston Garvey ever stop with the settlements needing help? I mean, when does it stop? My plan for the wasteland? Maybe build a wall around sanctuary, okay? Whatever that means. Making railroad pay." This post is basically saying that Trump saw a lot of violent games and he thinks that all the games are bad and should stop being distributed to the public. The problem with that is that all the games he saw, if they were that bad, they were probably made for adults who are mature enough to be able to handle the content well enough to not bring it into their real life, which obviously he's incapable of. So, yeah, that's what that means. That's what that means. Just gonna wait for this to hurry up. If it would change. And it's changing. In conclusion, to sum up everything, children can teach adults about video games are just a way to escape the real life and don't cause violence in the real world. The end. Oh.